talk to my little friend.
That's a man!
Finish him.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
I'll be back. You're listening to Red Planet Podcasts.
Hello everybody, this is Richie here,
And Chris here,
and we are back
with another episode.
of Red Planet Podcast Reboot.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a good episode for you today. We are going to be talking about WrestleMania night number 2. If you did not check out night number 1, go check that out.
Yep, it should be up on pretty much everywhere. Anchor, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Spotify, things of that nature. If you're watching the video form of this podcast, of course, on Red Planet Films, I will drop all the links and everything in the description box down below, of course, to the audio form of our podcast. This is going to be on Anchor, and then you can follow all the podcasts and everything like that, links, depending on what platform you use. And then, of course, the links to our Twitter, Twitch, Instagram,
All the good stuff.
our Red Planet Gaming, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
All in the description box down below. So,
Welcome to the candy shop.
yes, make you lick.
I don't know what that means.
Lollipop. I don't know. Anyways,
But it's not Snoop Dogg doing
America.
frog splash.
Shut the fuck up with Snoop Dogg. This man was Snoop Dogg. Oh my goodness! You think when he jumped off, he was like Snoop?
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like.
If he didn't, then what the fuck was he there for?
Oh no, bro! That's so funny. If you guys don't get what we're laughing, just check out again the last podcast.
We're basically poking fun at the fact that Snoop Dogg was on AEW and did the sloppiest fucking splash of all time.
It was fire. No, it wasn't. But yes, just subscribe to our channel, and you guys can find all that good stuff anywhere, everywhere. And stay connected with us. That's really it.
Oh my good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so night 2 started off with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton.
That was the first match.
Now, this is not their first
Holy
rodeo.
shit!
They wrestled for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 33, and that match was a fucking dumpster fire. You probably don't remember much of it, which is totally fine, but
I think I do remember that one.
I'm very sorry. They've been feuding for quite a little bit, and Alexa Bliss, of course, coming into the mix, and Randy Orton lit Bray Wyatt on fire at TLC, I think in December, and he
I just
pretty much
kept
came
saying,
back.
how did he do that? I don't understand how he do that. How did
He came back at Fastlane, all scorched, looking like Freddy Krueger, and upon his entrance, he kind of, I guess, resurrected or whatever the fuck, or I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I believe he came back with a new mask. It looks new. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. They had a very interesting entrance. The match itself left a little bit to be desired. It was a little lackluster. Not the right finish, in my opinion. Alexa
Yeah,
Bliss.
I honestly didn't understand the ending.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
did
this
Alexa turn on the Fiend? Like, what? I don't know.
What does it mean?
Yeah,
Like, it almost seemed like, it almost seemed like she was calling him, and that's it.
Yeah, and then
Like,
she was
she was just
squirting black blood from like this headdress that she had on, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
a really cool visual.
Yeah, it was super hot.
Got a
super hot.
holy shit chant from the crowd. And then it was this one RKO and then it was over, which was just, I don't know. The crowd didn't like it. They shat on it.
Yeah, mind you, like the Fiend is supposed to be this like unstoppable force, and then out of nowhere he gets RKO and it's over. Like, what? I don't know. Like, it just left me kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't understand.
exactly.
I don't understand this story. I don't understand what the hell's going on. I didn't care for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
However, it was really dope seeing the Fiend come back and do his weird shit.
Yeah,
That's really it.
I have to agree as well.
I'm a big fan of like the horror stuff. Like
Exactly.
like the-
Tom Savini, of course, helping create the mask and even the limited edition title that they had for the Fiend too.
Like, I know it's super cheesy, but I've always been a huge fan of like the supernatural wrestling stuff, like the Undertaker, Kane, all that stuff.
That's what you grew
even
up
like the Brood, that type of stuff was cool, and like seeing the Fiend, like it's just refreshing to see that stuff, that they're still trying to do those supernatural things, even though it's just like, what the hell.
Yeah.
A little dark.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Devil symbols everywhere.
yeah. I think it's a modern take on kind of like that supernatural, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, just, I don't really know.
I dig it. You know, it's not for everyone. It is what it is. Especially just like that horror aspect in general. You and I are huge movie
Horror
buffs
fans.
and huge horror fans, so we eat that shit up like it's fucking cake.
Yeah. It's
But-
cool that he's willing to go that far.
Right,
to make
and I
his
mean,
character.
it's something that it's his brainchild, and even before when he kind of came on the scene in WWE, he wrestled, I think, in FCW in like this mask that I think Corey Taylor from Korn or Slipknot, sorry, what
yeah.
the fuck,
Oh,
woohoo, would wear. So it's definitely very interesting, but I would give the match about a 4, just because I don't know what the fuck happened.
yeah,
I'm
give
intrigued
it
to
a
see where
3.
it goes.
I would give it a 3.
But it was
I'm not even kidding.
It was it was
I just,
not really a good opener. Entrances are cool.
you know what it seemed like, bro? Like it seemed like the Fiend came out, did his really cool entrance.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, they ran out the ring. He threw him out the ring, and then they went back in the ring, RKO, and it was over. Like
Right.
there was nothing memorable besides
So
that.
he's pretty much on a defeated streak as well, just like Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. Do I think the Fiend loses any stock in terms of like a loss? I don't think so. I think he could definitely bounce back. It's one of those rare occasions where, like, for example, Jeff Hardy is like the ultimate underdog. He can lose 1,000 fucking times and this dude is still popular as shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those
Yeah.
situations.
And I
where
think the Fiend is like right there in that alley.
no matter how many times you lose, you're still popular. You're still
Kinda
going to
just
have like a
went
lot of
over.
stock. You know.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, pretty much it because she's a good performer. You know.
Yeah.
But in any event, so that was that. And then we had the follow-up to the tag team turmoil match. So it was Natalya and Tamina, the best female wrestler on the planet, versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So I'm going to just get this off my chest. I think Shayna Baszler deserves a lot more. She's fucking spectacular in the ring, in my opinion. She knows so much about, like, just the martial arts, you know, scene, things like that, and you know, because she did MMA,
Very aware.
she was trained by like Josh Barnett, and just she's so good at like the catch as catch can style of wrestling. Nia Jax, who the fuck cares? But I've got to say, this match was a lot better than I expected it to be. Everybody
No, for real.
did a lot of work,
You know
and the
what's
crowd was
crazy?
into it too. And Tamina had a good reception.
Tamina had a great reception. But what was crazy too is like you can see the match flip. Like I think people were not ready for the match. They didn't, or not ready, but like they didn't care for the match. And I think that the performers, like they kind of just went all out. And then I think the match started turning its
Right.
wheels, because like if you notice in the beginning of the match, people were just kind of like,
But then as it progressed, they're like, oh, okay.
they
cool.
like paid attention.
But
I don't know
then-
what happened, where it started changing, but
It's that
towards the
situation where the build up to Mania wasn't all that great. But again, first pay per view back with fans in attendance, you're in this big ass setting,
Right,
you're
it's
getting
fun.
all the WrestleMania WWE grandeur. And I think people were just soaking it in and just having
Yeah,
fun.
they're
And
just
then
like,
they're
"Oh
like,
my
oh
God."
shit, yeah. Yeah, they're like, fuck it, let's just
That's
have
dope.
fun. Yeah,
That's
this
dope.
shit sucks, it's okay, I'm gonna have fun.
yeah, I'm just gonna watch.
Which I wish that was the case all the time.
Yeah, Natalya
Yeah.
did a really good job doing her sharpshooter on Nia Jax, by the way.
But Tamina like held it down. She was definitely like among the best of the best, like Snoop Dogg.
She did a frog splash like Snoop Dogg.
No, she did a fucking
It was like the snooker dive.
yeah. But
It's okay though, because the match was good.
What would you rate the match?
To be honest, like a 4.
But we gave you. What did you give the Fiend and Orton? Didn't you give it a 4 or 3? I don't
Yeah.
fucking remember.
It's right there. For me, it was like right.
I'll give the match a 6. I liked it better than the Raw Tag Team Championship match with Styles and Omos and the New Day, because I gave that shit a 5. I'll give this a 6 because it was better than expected, but I didn't care for it.
I still have to say 4. Like, I just didn't care. Like,
That's fair.
It's I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry, Tamina. I really am.
She was trying to power slam Nia Jax the entire match, and then she finally did it.
Yeah.
And then it was like
She's strong.
Oh, and I was just like, bro, she did that like
She's strong.
like 6 times though.
She's strong.
Whatever.
Moving on. I believe we had the Intercontinental Championship match, which was a Nigerian drum match. Whatever the fuck that means.
Which was pretty much a hardcore match.
Yeah, it's just, Extreme Rules, whatever. There were just drums there that they didn't fucking use. It was there for decoration. There were tables, kendo sticks, chairs, steel steps were used, things of that nature. Big E, Intercontinental Champion, against Apollo Crews, who has been repackaged, kind of has like this Nigerian accent now. And at first I didn't really like it. It seemed a little bit racy. Kind of pushing the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, it's like WWE's trying a little too hard to support BLM, but
or just I don't know, they're just pushing it a little too much.
Yeah, it's just like, man, just let him be him.
But I am appreciative of the fact that Apollo Crews is showing what he can do. He actually is thriving.
I think he got injured.
Heel. At the end of this match,
yeah, I
he
think
looked like he was hurt.
That last spot was, I think.
Yeah, they both took some abuse and they were whacking the shit out of each other.
No, there was a moment where Apollo Crews just went to town. He was just like whack, 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 whack.
I've never seen anyone get in that many hits in a kendo stick.
That was fast.
In such a successive fashion.
For real.
That's what I expect to get from the WWE 2K games when you spam square, but instead it's just
fucking Minecraft.
And then on the 4th hit, he drops the fucking kendo stick, and then you have to pick it back up.
Or
fix your shit, 2K.
Or it breaks and disappears.
Yeah, that too. Then you gotta get a new one. Anyways, Apollo Crews went over. I don't mind it. We had Daba Kato, who was competing on Raw Underground at the start of last year when they brought that in.
Is that the guy with the braids?
Yeah, he was the guy with the braids.
I didn't know who that was.
So he's going to be Apollo Crews' heater, which I guess he kind of needs one. So it's almost going to be like a similar situation with AJ Styles and Omos.
That's exactly what I thought of.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is the same thing.
So you got another big, giant 7-footer motherfucker. But this guy is actually rather talented, I feel. And he had a couple of strong showings on Raw Underground, which is basically like a Fight Club type thing.
He really reminded me of... oh my gosh, what is his name? You know what? Never mind, because I forgot his name.
You'll think of it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're texting me. Oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna like edit the name like right in the middle of the screen.
I'll let you go.
For the video one.
Sorry, y'all.
But anyways, I thought it was a
solid match.
Yeah,
I think it was good.
Wale performed.
Wale did perform. He was lip syncing, but I really did wish Biggie won.
Yeah. I mean, I can see from your viewpoint because you're not really familiar with Apollo Crews.
I've seen some of his stuff.
Yeah. This is where he's finally like thriving on the main roster. So he's getting to kind of show like his chops.
That's fair.
So I'm happy that the guy won, especially on WrestleMania. And again, it kind of circles back to what we were talking about in our previous episode on night 1, where we were mentioning how a lot of people of color were just dominating WrestleMania.
For real. Facts. I mean, you got Omos,
black men fighting over one of, WWE's historic titles, the Intercontinental Championship.
It's a big title.
Yeah, for sure. Especially back in its heyday in like the 80s, things like that.
Huge title.
And they had a pretty damn physical matchup, in my opinion.
A very physical match, actually.
Do you have anything to say or grade for the match?
I'll grade it like a 7.5.
Okay.
I think that's a fair grade. I think I really enjoyed the match. The only reason why I give it a 7.5, not an 8, is because I would have preferred Big E to win. That's it. But that's just my take on it. I don't know Apollo Crews like that, like what Richie's saying. And I think Big E's been in New Day for such a long time that, now that he's
on a singles run,
that he should have retained a little bit longer, maybe. that's just me being picky, I guess. But it is what it is.
So
congratulations.
7.5?
Yeah.
I think I'll give this match an 8. I enjoyed it. I wish it kind of had a extra minute or two. Kind of like how I mentioned with Rollins and Cesaro. I feel like it needed like another gear to kind of shift into, but who knows? I don't know if anyone got injured and they had to call an audible. But
it seemed like that. It seemed like that last bump on the.
Dawa Kato went to pick him up and he was saying something to him.
He was just like, no, and then like he picked him up slow.
Yeah.
But it was the spot where he did the clothesline, or wasn't a clothesline? What was it? It was like the Nigiri thing onto the steel.
Oh, that was prior when he did hit him with the enziguri onto the.
But I think that's where the injury
because he landed on his shoulder, and then Cruz went through the table and Biggie hit him with the big ending, and then
that was like kind of right around that.
Yeah,
I think the climax of that was.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the initial impact on the enziguri.
Yeah, because I think that.
I mean the
he
fucking
bounced.
You're
not.
Yeah, the enziguri is something completely different.
I don't know. My bad.
But yeah.
Anyways, it was a good match.
Strong match for sure. Actually, let's touch up on the United States Championship match. Both mid-card titles were on night 2. Night 2 seemed to have a bit of a stronger card, in my opinion, as far as like a wrestling standpoint. Night 1 had a lot more of the entertainment.
Yeah.
Especially with Bad Bunny.
Boricua.
Wepa. So we had Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. I fucking hate Matt Riddle. I'm just getting it out there. I can't stand him. He's got an ugly ass face that you just want to punch. He's got this fucking bro skater pothead high schooler gimmick that I'm just not a fan of. And if you want to really get into specifics, there's the whole accusations thing that happened with him a couple of months ago. I'm not even gonna fucking touch on that. But
I didn't even know.
In any event, he won the U.S. title, I believe, off of Bobby Lashley before him embarking on this WWE Championship journey.
That is so ironic. That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird to think about. But.
And, Sheamus has been on a hell of a run lately. Just really killing it in ring and stuff like that, especially at Fastlane. He had a really good match with Drew, but they've been kicking each other's ass for like the past month or two. But
Sheamus is a big dog, man.
Sheamus he's fucking great. I love Sheamus.
A beast.
But this was a pretty physical matchup. Definitely not as physical, of course, as Big E and Apollo by any means, but physical enough. I feel like this one needed another gear to enter before I would have really liked it, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Matt Riddle. What's his name?
Matt Riddle. Yeah,
whatever.
or they just call him Riddle. They took out
Riddle.
Whatever.
He his charisma or his character is just kind of weak to me, but he is definitely talented. Like, I will give him that. He's very talented in the ring. The match I thought was pretty solid. I thought that they had really good spots. I love the ending of the match. That was really freaking dope.
The upside down bro kick.
They had one pretty bad botch, which is the turnbuckle. Was it White Noise?
Yeah, he was gonna hit him with Sheamus was gonna hit Riddle with White Noise from the turnbuckle. But
he couldn't get him up.
Yeah, because instead of being in front of the turnbuckle on the ropes,
so he had to literally lift
and climb over
with a human. That's pretty hard, man.
Yeah.
But.
And this was towards the end of the match.
Yeah,
too.
so
they're
he's probably
fatigued.
gassed. Yeah, fatigued. Overall, I thought it was a solid match.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Solid
again,
match.
like you mentioned, they had pretty good spots. We marked out for the ending.
The ending was fire.
The bro kick.
Fire.
I guess whatchamacallit, Riddle doing a moonsault off the rope. Right?
It was the rope, yeah.
Yeah. And
He
then
did a moonsault, and then
Sheamus
just
nailed him with the bro kick.
He actually busted him open, bro.
Yeah,
That
the
was
tip of his
solid.
boot hit his bottom lip here, so that's why he was bleeding. And there was a moment of intensity, and I mentioned to Chris that I feel like lacked from the match that we got at the end.
But
Sheamus
that
picking
could
up
be
the W.
that could be a good thing for Riddler, because it looks like they could be feuding Like they
so
might get into a feud and continue this feud, and I think that could help him, kind of mold him to a better entertainer overall. Because like Sheamus is like, he's a big dog. Like I just said, like he's somebody that could potentially help his career. He's still really new. I don't really know much of it. So I think that's good for him. But yeah, that intensity in the end of the match, I would like to see more during the match. But what are you gonna do, right? It is what it is. The ending was fire though. Yeah. Solid. It kind of reminded me of the European uppercut and Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Like just
was kind of out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, the crowd loved it. Twitter loved it. Everybody was going crazy. There were just gifts everywhere. And a lot of people were happy that Matt Riddle lost.
Good.
Yeah. I was definitely pulling for Sheamus, and I was definitely satisfied. Overall, I'd give this match a 7 out of 10.
7. Yeah. Like a 7.57.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which match. I'm not groaning about that. What I'm groaning about is the fact that Logan Paul was involved.
He did nothing.
Really, for no reason.
Why was he involved?
He was just a special guest, whatever. There were some tweeting back and forth between Sami Zayn and the Logan Paul. And then they invited him to SmackDown. He came on.
Just no reason.
His conspiracy theory documentary trailer, because he feels like everyone is against him. And
it just honestly made no sense.
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that Logan Paul is a big fan base, and his
that's
fans
really
are
clout.
Might tune in, and exactly for clout.
But like you said earlier, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it, but.
Yeah, no relevance to the match whatsoever, but that didn't deter Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens from having a very good match.
Yeah, they had a solid match.
Yeah, they have great chemistry. They're friends. They've wrestled each other all over the world for fucking 10, 15 years. So it's, without question that they're going to have a banger,
Very good match.
Again, there were a lot of matches that I feel like needed to kick into fifth gear. I feel like this one could have used a few more extra minutes. But
it did kind of end quick. I felt like this match was
compared to the other ones.
You guys could have had more time. You could have done more things.
Yeah. But with what they were given, I felt like they did a lot.
Yeah,
I will say
they made it work.
Yeah, for sure.
And they delivered. It was a solid match. Yeah. I liked when Sami Zayn ran right after the clothesline to try to get him with the haluva kick or whatever.
Did he hit him?
No, he missed. But it was just cool. How Kevin Owens clotheslined him into the buckle, turned around and do it again, and then Sami Zayn's chasing him right.
What I like about it is that because they know each other so much, so they're always on top of
it. Yeah, that's what it's kind of exactly that moment. Like KO already knew he was going to be right behind him,
or Sami Zayn knew what Kevin Owens did.
Yeah, they both just were linked, and those type of things are they're solid.
Yeah,
match
for sure,
solid.
So, after that, shenanigans happened. Kevin Owens won the match. Strong reception. He was another one. And we forgot to touch upon the fact that when Randy Orton was making his entrance, Kevin Owens as well, they were feeding off the crowd, the energy of the crowd. And they're very receptive. Like, Randy Orton went like this and was like, thank you.
Randy
Kevin
Orton
Owens was just,
he was
firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. Randy Orton also, that little juke, he was pretending he was gonna slip. That was funny.
Yeah, just a little callback to Mandy Rose busting her ass. But yeah, so Logan Paul kind of came in the ring, and then Sammy was screaming at him, and then Logan pushed Sammy, and then Sammy left, and Logan lifted up Kevin's hand, and Kevin was just saying,
he was just like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
I don't know you.
No, yeah, I get it. And then he hit him with the stunner.
Very Stone Cold like.
Interesting sell. But kudos to Logan for taking the bump and the stunner. He had some very funny facials and reactions at ringside.
Yeah, the part where he died, he was like.
I forgot what
There was
what
something
happened.
off the top rope.
But yeah, that
It
was.
was, I think it was a suplex. That, no, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but I gotta give Logan some credit on that one. That one made me laugh.
Other than that, I thought he was just really
Pointless.
pointless.
But the crowd was into the fact that he ate a stunner, so I guess that's all that really matters.
That's why he was there.
Yeah,
Let me get stoned real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, but would you give this match? I want me to go first?
Yeah.
I would give it a 7.
I feel like they can do better, right?
Yeah. If they had more time, it's a time thing. Like, if they had a little bit more time, I felt like it would have been an 8, 8.5, maybe 9. But it just seemed like taking into consideration, like, Logan Paul just being there for no reason besides the stunner and funny face reactions, and then just having their match. It almost seems so purposeless that it just was just like, hey, let's just put these two guys because they have so much good chemistry just to fill in this time. And that's what I don't like, because it's just like, let them actually have a feud and then give them the time that they deserve, and instead of just feeling like it's a filler match.
Right. Like, they definitely could have done without, any type of celebrity or whatever, but if we're looking at some type of silver lining, it's that Logan Paul might have brought some eyes to the product, and some of these people might be like, hey, who's Sami Zayn? Who's Kevin Owens? So if you look at it from that standpoint, this might give them more exposure, and it'll help kind of further lift them up as superstars. If you look at it from that viewpoint.
I don't.
But other than the fact that we don't give a fuck about the Pauls,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I would give the match a 7.5. I like their battleground encounter a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
From 2016, I believe it was.
Honestly, I like when me and him play WWE.
Yeah, we've had some bangers in 2K with.
We always
both of
pick
them.
KO and Sami Zayn.
And we have some-
Kevin Owens and he's Sami Zayn.
We have some bangers for sure. I will actually drop the link to one of the videos down below in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. If not, if you're listening to this, go on YouTube and just watch it. But in any event,
Red Planet Gaming.
I believe it was the
I think
Raw
it was
Women's
Yeah, Asuka
Championship match.
versus.
Yeah, so
Rhea.
Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. 24 years old,
That's crazy.
Rhea Ripley, and she's just on a roll. What the hell is her name? I think Ash Costello's her name. Performed live for Rhea onto the ring. It was, I don't think they really did a sound check, but it is what it is. It didn't really sound too great, but fuck it. Rhea got a pretty good moment for sure. She was definitely over. She leaned a little bit into like the heel side throughout the match, which I thought was interesting. She did get a couple of boos at some point. And Asuka, talented as hell, one of the most incredible like in-ring performers, especially if you watch her
She
Japan
just
stuff
wrestles with so
in
much
NXT.
emotion. She wrestles with so much emotion.
Yeah, she's just
like
intense.
she's intense. Yeah.
Yeah. And her NXT stuff, of course, you can't sweep that under the rug by any means.
It's like she's like an anime. That's like the best way to put it. Like no. Like on some real shit, because if you watch animes, like they're almost over dramatic, but in a sense of like just that emotion.
It's
like,
theatrical.
Theatrical, yeah. And then you can tell like has that same
Influence.
influence, same energy, and it's just there. And I think that's what makes her so dope in the ring. Is because like I don't know, like it's just very genuine stuff. And like I was saying that within the last episode, with night one, with Bianca Blair, like just having that genuine raw emotion. I feel like Asuka has like the same thing in a sense. Like she's just very driven and raw. Yeah. Anyways,
Asuka hasn't had the best calendar year since gaining the Raw Women's Championship from Becky Lynch last year. She vacated the title after Mania because she got pregnant. Becky Lynch faced Shayna Baszler last year, and evidently Becky was pulling for Shayna to win, which would have been very interesting. I feel like that would have helped her stock. And from there, they could have had Shayna and Asuka feud for the title, which would have given both women something to do.
Right.
And I feel like since gaining the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka really didn't do much all of last year, unfortunately. She had a really good match with Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. And that was when Sasha and Becky were aligned and they were both like a heel team, things like that. But other than that, she really didn't have much going on, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because Asuka's very good, and she had an incredible NXT run, and they booked her to perfection. And I don't know if it's a language barrier as things like that happen.
I was just about to say, I think is. I think it's a language barrier, blah, 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 blah.
But at the same time, why was she so dominant and just well taken care of in NXT as opposed to her run on the main roster? But I digress. In any event,
main roster, I think, though, is more like, like very driven into like when you're feuding, like it's like story arcs that really bring people together, like or drive people to watch. Yeah. So I think with like that language barrier thing, it's just like how she's gonna really feud with someone when she's not really talking smack about nobody. If that makes sense.
I can see from that standpoint for sure.
Just my 2 cents, I guess.
I don't think this match really lived up to my expectations. I wasn't really feeling it, to be quite honest.
I honestly just couldn't wait for the match to end. And that's like, I'm not trying to be mean.
There were some interesting spots, but I wasn't invested in the story that was being told in the ring. Mainly just from a standpoint that, they were both trying, but I knew Rhea was going to win. Asuka, again, unfortunately, just not having much credibility in order to back her up going into this match.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way.
Right, and
Rhea was just already destined to win.
Yeah, and because of that, the Raw Women's title hasn't had much going on for it.
Hopefully with Rhea being champ now, like it will bring a lot of interestingness.
The final 2 women in this year's Royal Rumble end up winning both titles on the respective brands, which is pretty cool. They definitely deserve it, especially Bianca, but we're not
Rhea too.
brushing Rhea off.
Very, very talented too.
Yeah, she's definitely got a lot of.
However, I don't feel like this is one of her best matches.
No, I think her match with Charlotte last year.
Oh yeah, they have way more chemistry.
And they had no fans,
which is weird.
Yeah, but I don't know. Something was missing. Something was definitely missing. Something was off, but maybe they didn't have enough time. I don't know.
I just think that they couldn't connect on that.
Yeah.
Like chemistry wise, like it just wasn't there for them to.
Yeah. Like Asuka and Charlotte have had phenomenal matches, and I'd say Charlotte and Rhea are kind of similar, just from like a build and like height and all that stuff. But
it could just be personalities. You know what I mean?
Not everyone clicks.
Exactly. Like, I mean, unfortunately, this is what it is. I think it's just that
lack of chemistry.
Just lack of chemistry for me. Like it didn't make sense in the sense. It looked like it was set up like, all right, 2 girls match, boom, she's gonna win.
And last but certainly not least was, of course, the main event. Triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, who's the reigning defending champion, taking on Daniel Bryan and Edge. Initially supposed to be just Edge and Roman Reigns, but with the story that's being told on SmackDown, which has been very excellent. SmackDown's been killing it for a couple of months now. They turned it into a triple threat. Not sure if this is going to be Daniel Bryan's last rodeo. He's been mentioning that he's been wanting to kind of simmer down in his career and, be a dad, things like that. And, he feels like he's contributed as much as he could. And I don't know if he'll go on a part-time schedule or whatever the case may be. But this might definitely be his last hurrah as far as like WrestleManias go.
But man, what a match.
This was the match of both nights for sure.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Definitely invested in it the most. I was on the edge of my seat at a lot of near falls.
Edge of my seat.
And I was definitely pulling for Edge for sure. I wanted him to get that moment. what's today?
I feel like he deserved that moment.
Yeah. So night 2 was on the 11th. So on the 11th. So we're recording this right now. It's 1:36 Monday on the 12th. 10 years to the day that he retired on Monday Night Raw, and then he's in the main event of WrestleMania.
What a story! What a
You can't make this shit up.
For real, it's like how do you come back in 10 years? Like 10 years, that's a long time.
He's stated numerous times in interviews where he's said something along the lines of, if you were to write the script and hand it to Hollywood, they would say this is impossible.
And for real, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of emotional, to be honest. It's very. I really did wish he won too. I was pulling for Edge as well. Like, I thought that Edge deserved that spotlight again to be on top. I hope he comes back. I don't know what's left. I don't know. I think he signed a 5-year contract though, right?
I think so,
Something like that. So I'm assuming he's going to be back in feud again, but it just would have been dope to see him win. And not, trying to spoil anything about the match. It's just, that's really, I mean, even with the outcome of the match, I don't feel like I was robbed of the match. I just feel like
you wanted that happy moment.
Just wanted it. Yeah, exactly. But overall, I think it was still like a 10 out of 10 match for me.
Like, granted, we got it on night 1 with Bianca Belair winning over Sasha Banks, but this Cinderella story of Edge facing adversity and wanting this career since, being a child and watching Hulk Hogan or whatever and growing up. And
I remember watching a documentary and Edge was in the crowd as a fan.
Yeah, right,
It's
exactly.
crazy. This dude.
To retire and then to come back and just,
This dude loves this business.
Exactly. He loves wrestling.
Loves it.
I was definitely pulling for him. Roman Reigns has been killing it since he retired.
Yeah, much respect. Much respect to Roman Reigns. He's definitely on a roll, and I think he. It's true what he said in that promo, or that package, not for nothing. Like, SmackDown wouldn't be shit without Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. Like, I'm not. I think there was a question in the after show. I don't know what that podcast was, or that little thing was called, the interviews with O'Shea Jackson. But he said, they asked him, like, who do you think could beat Roman Reigns? And he said no one on the current roster. And I agree. I strongly agree. I don't think there's anybody who is adequate enough to really take on Roman and carry the business forward. Besides Edge. That's the only person that I can see and be like, yo, Edge is the only person. And now that that's not a thing, I don't think anybody could.
Yeah. So, I mean, considering the fact that, you'd always tell the story that Edge was robbed of his Royal Rumble, one-on-one or whatever the hell the case may be. So maybe they can always go the route of a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash, which is going to be the next pay-per-view. I don't know if they'll win. I don't know if they'll give that title win on like a B level pay-per-view. Or who knows, maybe with Big E losing the Intercontinental Championship, maybe they're priming him for the main title run in his singles run. You never know. This does though is that
That'd be pretty tight.
Roman Reigns winning by putting Edge on top of Daniel Bryan and pinning both of them,
Which is fucking crazy.
whoever
Crazy.
defeats Roman Reigns, their stock is going to go up so high because Roman is just beating the best after the best after the best.
Your stomach is talking.
Your stomach is like, yup, yup, yup. The stomach agrees. No,
That's not mine.
it's mine?
Yeah.
I thought it was yours. I don't know. I don't feel anything. My stomach usually...
I'm fucking dead, bro. His stomach is talking. Unless it's your cat. Is your cat wrong?
I don't even know where he is.
Anyways, doesn't matter. I just keep hearing wow.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 for me for this
10
match.
out of 10. But you're right. Yo, that was too funny.
Stomach's a Europe.
Yo, the double pin thing.
That's some G shit.
I can't lie. But you know what's crazy, bro? Roman Reigns was getting his ass washed. Like he was getting jacked up, bro. I think that's how I knew he was gonna win because it was too good. Edge was just dominating too much of the match. Like I was just like, nah, something bad's gonna happen.
Daniel Bryan did his fair share, but he was.
They all did. They all did a really good job.
They told a very good story.
Very solid. Very solid story. The climax of the match, though, I was just like, nah, something's not right here. It's too slow for Edge. Edge was just like the way he was setting things up, like with the concertos, and I just knew he wasn't gonna win at that point. But I wasn't too disappointed with the stacking of the body.
Yeah, no, that was
like,
that was hard. That was some hard ass shit.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody's
done that. Not like that.
Yeah.
No. And it's funny because I think he said that in a promo before. He's like, I'm gonna stack them up or whatever. Which is
exactly man of his word, I guess. Even though he had interference or assistance from
that's
Jey Uso.
But whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. It's a right hand man.
Yeah, it's part of the whole
package.
Picture. Yeah, the package, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole movement of what's it called? The small council?
Oh, the tribal. Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Whatever that his group is called with Heyman, Jay, and him. It's really cool to see because it's like on some like gang stuff.
Yeah, this is like some gangster mob type shit.
Yeah, and it's like I'm really curious to see when Jimmy comes back what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, how that's gonna.
If he's gonna take part or if he's gonna just.
What if he comes back this Friday? How we have like the
sick.
Raw after Mania.
Yeah, it's always like a big. Yeah,
that would be interesting to see.
Because I just want to see if he's gonna try to talk to Jay and be like, we gotta go back doing our own thing, or what's gonna happen? I don't know.
Or
his empire is just gonna grow.
It expands, right? And then they win the tag team titles.
Oh man!
And then is this the tribal council full of gold? And then whoever defeats all of them.
That's gonna be a while.
Yeah, but
there's
so much potential for different stories.
There it is.
Which is why SmackDown is killing it right now. They are the A show right now.
You know what's crazy? I don't know, because you mentioned something about Big E being free now of his singles run. So it's like, what if Big E comes on top? New Day. It's the same thing with New Day. If Big E can come on top, then New Day wins back the titles from AJ Styles and Omos, and Big E becomes champion. It's almost the same thing on their side versus Roman Reigns' side. But I don't know if Big E's really ready for Roman Reigns, to be honest.
I mean, they could build him up until SummerSlam. It's 4 months.
That'd be fire.
It would be.
That would be fire. He's really well on the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of potential there, like you said. But overall, the match I think was really solid. Really, really good way to wrap up WrestleMania. I think my favorite part of the match was the double cross face with Edge and Daniel Bryan putting Roman in the cross face. He couldn't tap, he couldn't do anything, and it was just like, wow,
there are a lot
different.
of cool, subtle nuances, and I know Edge is definitely, he's definitely keen on detail as far as mannerisms or just key story elements, things of that nature, to just further enhance the match. And case in point was a particular spot with the chair, and Roman pulled the chair, and there was just a little rod that got left behind, and Edge was like, huh? And just dropped it, which led into the crossface spot. Roman slipping out and Edge using that little stick
to put it around his mouth. Too.
Yeah,
it wasn't his neck; it was his mouth. That's crazy.
Roman in that submission, and then Daniel Bryan came, and he's like
putting it on the other side.
Let go! And they just started butting heads or whatever. There are a lot of cool moments in this match: the table moment, the concerto moment,
the edge, the spear off of the
steel steps.
The steel steps. That was pretty cool.
Edge to Roman.
There was a lot of
stuff. It's very physical.
Physical match.
Edge 47, still proving that he can go. I don't consider him a part-timer. He's a full-timer right now.
Yeah, I think as well. I don't see him being, unless he takes a break now, but I don't think he would.
I think had he not gotten injured at Backlash last year, he probably still would have been like wrestling the year.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's doing it now proves it to me.
Yeah, Andrew Warren. Yeah. That was a great match too.
Yeah.
That was a solid match.
So I don't know. There's so much shit they can do.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm actually gonna try to stay on top of it because
if anything, I used to watch SmackDown.
Yeah, I used to be a huge wrestling fan, Mark. Like huge. I got into it.
Yeah, as we mentioned in night one that episode, we both really don't watch. He's not in tune with the product, and
I just watch main pay-per-views really.
Yeah, I catch all my highlights of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT on Twitter, YouTube, and whatever websites, things like that.
It's really cool though, like when you're like, I feel like I'm what's it called, like a once a year, like Taker almost, like a once a year type of wrestler, right? But I'm once a year type of watcher, and it's like it's super cool to see the development in certain wrestlers. Like for example, last year's Royal Rumble, was it last year's Royal Rumble? When Edge came back, that was
the year before.
Oh, that was the year before. Okay.
No, it was last
year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because fans were still there.
Yeah, fans was there. Yeah.
So January 2020.
I remember Kofi. I saw a package of Kofi Kingston. He was champion. He was Universal Champion, and he was feuding with Brock Lesnar. And I was just like, "What the heck? How did that happen?" And I hadn't watched, and I didn't know anything. And I just remember seeing like, that is so crazy to me because. I mean, Kofi Kingston was I don't want to say a mid-card, but he wasn't...
Yeah, mid-card and like
mid-card tag team in that realm, and he's over here feuding with Lesnar. You know what I mean? I thought that was really, really dope. So, pros and cons, but I'm going to try to keep up more because I should.
I mean, we'll see what happens and see where things go, but overall I was... definitely more into night 2 than I was night 1. But
night 2 was way better.
That's not to say night 1 was bad, but
it just was better.
I definitely think the match that stole Mania weekend was the triple threat for the Universal title.
Triple threat.
Out of 10, what would you give night 2?
10 out of 10. Easy.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Night 1 gets
5 stars.
8. Yeah. Night 2 gets 10.
Yeah. I think that's a good... Like, night 1 was great, but night 2 just had overall better matches. Like, every match, I think, was an 8. I don't want to say every match because I said there was some. But, like, the main card matches, I feel, or I can't even say that either. But, like, it was just better for me. Better matches.
Do you think WWE should stick with the 2-night format?
No. I don't like the 2-night format. I don't like the idea of having 2 WrestleManias for one. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased and I'm a fan of that.
I think it works just for the circumstances that we're in with COVID.
It definitely works with COVID.
Especially the fact that there's so many matches.
Now, there's a lot of matches. So,
like WrestleMania 35 was 5 or 6 hours. That shit was long.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So maybe 2 nights isn't that bad, but I'm just not used to the 2 nights, and I think it's very odd that there's a WrestleMania 2 nights. Like yesterday, I think was 4 hours or 3 hours, something like that.
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours, and then today I think was 2.5 hours or three almost 3 hours, roughly. So it's just like, what is that? Almost 6 hours together if you count it
just broke it up.
Yeah.
But
if you put it together, it'd be a long period.
I think what it is too, like, imagine sitting through like a 6-hour show and then you get to like the main event, which is like the most hyped up match.
You're just
everyone's
tired, bored, or whatever.
That's the only thing, and that's what happened with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Everybody was kind of just like, whatever, because it was already like midnight.
That makes sense. So that being said, maybe 2 nights is better. I didn't look at it at that point. But
I understand what you're saying, like just watching it from top to
bottom.
Yeah, like
I'm a fan of just like straight
Right.
going through.
Like, I would like for them to have an edit of both nights combined, so you could just watch it in full.
Yeah. Or just take out the bullshit ass matches. Like, no, but like, let's be real. Like, WrestleMania has always been, you know, the Omega, right? So it's like, why are we having like bullshit matches?
Like filler shit.
Filler shit.
It's just to like.
I know,
Like
yeah.
simmer the crowd down. So
Yeah.
then when the bigger matches come, it's filler.
It's filler.
You know, like an anime.
But it's almost like, you know, like in a dance competition, right? Like, if you're not dope, you're not going to make it past prelims. Like, that's just what it is. You can't be mad at nobody else but yourself. Or, not mad at yourself, but you can't be mad. It's just like, you got to work harder.
To get that top spot.
Exactly. And for WrestleMania, it's almost like they're trying to work everybody into WrestleMania. I was actually really surprised that, like, Street Profits, is it?
Yeah.
They weren't in the main card in a tag team match.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's some, I guess, people that aren't on that level yet. But then you look at, like, matches like, what is it? The fucking tag match with all those the girls. Tag team turmoil. Like, that was honestly a waste for me.
I understand.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, take that shit out. That's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though, right?
As they say. So with that being said, night 2 definitely the stronger of the two by far. 10 out of 10. Night 1 gets an 8 out of 10. Definitely the match of the Mania weekend for me was a triple threat. I think for you as well.
My favorite moment of WrestleMania was when Snoop Dogg did a frog splash.
All right, that's pretty much it. So subscribe if you're new.
If you like Snoop Dogg and frog splash,
if you're new to Red Planet Films, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the little bell icon so you never miss an upload. Check the link in the description
next week
box.
we're gonna have Snoop Dogg doing frog splashes.
No, we're not. We're gonna have the links to
Shout
our
out to Snoop Dogg.
film channel, gaming channel. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is a film channel. I'm tired.
I'm
Links
tired
to our
too.
Twitter,
But you know who
Twitch,
wasn't tired?
Instagram,
Snoop
gaming
Dogg.
channel, Red
when
Planet
he did a
Gaming,
frog splash.
all that good stuff
Off
in
of
the
the
description box
turnbuckle.
down below, as well as the audio form of the podcast.
Snoop Dogg
just the
doing
Anchor
frog
link.
splash was
You'll be able to
WrestleMania
find
worthy.
the Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, all that good stuff. And then, of course, if you're listening on
Snoop
audio
Dogg is a
form,
Hall of Famer.
make sure to check the
Because he did a
description,
frog
and you'll
splash.
find the link to our film channel, gaming channel, all that good stuff. We'll put a little link tree link in the description. So that's pretty much
Nothing's better than Snoop Dogg doing frog
it.
splashes.
Any parting words that has nothing to do with Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg did frog splashes.
Red Planet Podcast is officially canceled. Thank you very much for tuning into these 2 episodes.
Listen, man.
We'll see you next year.
Listen. Just listen to me one time. Just Snoop Dogg did a frog splash, man. He did it. You just gotta watch it. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably going to bed, but yeah, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff for Snoop Dogg and his frog splashes. It's WrestleMania worthy. He's a future Hall of Famer. He did a frog splash.